Hello fellow modding noobs. This video is an overview of how to use the tutorial for adding custom workshop categories with scripts to your mod. You can find this mod on the Nexus, and it has a lot of good information in it, but it's a little overwhelming when you're first trying to get started, and so I'm going to try to share some of the pain and grief I went through with you so that hopefully you don't have to go through quite as much pain and grief yourself. When you read through the description, it's telling you the reason you have to use scripts to add your categories or menus, because you never want to edit the vanilla ones. That causes conflicts. So to get started, it says to open up the file in your workshop mod in xEdit. So the first thing you want to do is get the file downloaded. So if you click on the Files tab, you want to download the custom categories template file, and that's a zip file that on your machine download this custom categories template, and there is a version number on it. Then in that zip file you want to extract its contents, the scripts folder and the custom categories template, both of those, into the data folder where you have Fallout 4 installed. Additionally, the description says that once you've got the file downloaded, you want to copy this workshop add categories template to your mod in xEdit. And it took a while to figure out what the heck xEdit was. xEdit is really F04 edit. You can also download this from the Nexus mods. So it also has a zip file that you download, and on your machine it's going to come down as F04 edit, and then you want to extract that. I extracted it into my downloads folder in the folder named F04 edit. And inside there, I believe the F04 edit application was actually initially named xEdit. So you launch that, and that's going to bring up a list of all the mods and stuff you have installed on your machine. And you want to deselect all of those except for your mod that you want to work with. And you want to also select the custom categories template. So you just need those two. Your mod, in this case I'm going to work my NASA posters mod, and your custom categories template. So what you want to do when it loads is expand the custom categories template quest, and here is the custom categories installer you want to get. So you're going to right click on that and say copy as new record into, and it says just make sure you're sure. You want to give it, I give it a custom name. You don't have to, but I like to find all my parts in my mods. So, you know, NASA categories installer, and then you pick your mod to copy it into, click OK, and it'll do so. I've already done that, so I'm not going to recopy it. Also in the custom categories template, it has some other parts in here that I believe are part of what it has information on, in case you want to create a chem so people can uninstall your program while it's running, but I did not look into that. Additionally, so when you exit, it's going to ask you if you want to save your file. You say yes, and then you exit. Now additionally, for the tutorial, it talks about you have to implement an uninstall function, and in reading some comments on this, the Nexus Mod Manager itself will download a fixer that you can try to put into your mod, and I couldn't get the fixer to work. And after reading some comments, the mod author had says, well, the reason you need the fixer is in case they try to uninstall while your mod is running. So I've put in a warning with my mod when it loads to tell them not to uninstall while the mod is running, and hopefully they pay attention and do that. At any rate, so we did the first part, which was to copy the template into your mod. So the next thing you want to do is you want to go to the your data folder where you extracted the scripts. So under data, scripts, source, user, you have the custom categories installer and the custom categories uninstaller scripts. So I want to make a new copy of each of those and name it for my NASA posters mod. So NASA categories installer. NASA categories uninstaller. So now I want to edit the NASA categories installer script. So the first thing you want to do at the top is change the script name to match the name of your file. And the very top here, you want to put in a value for the, as a reminder, for the menu that you want to add your category to. So I've done this for some others, so I'm going to cheat here and copy and paste some of the information from them as a way to jumpstart this one. So in my case, I want to add my new category to the wall decorations menu inside of Fallout 4. So I'm going to put that in here, into the wall decorations. Now, I'm not going to do a menu, so I'm going to comment out the menu. But I do want to do a category. So what I've done for the category is I want to make my category similar to the existing wall decorations posters category, but make my own for my own posters. So in this case, what this is the name, what I'm putting here is going to be the name of a keyword that I will create inside of, oops, wrong one. This is the name of a keyword I will create in my mod copied from the existing posters keyword. So in my case, NASA Workshop Recipe Filter Decor Wall Decorations NASA Posters. Then there's this information about whether you want to use this while loop for doing an uninstall check, and I eventually decided I don't want that in here because that's at the very bottom, and basically it comes into this loop, and while the whole game, every 60 seconds it's checking to see if your mod is still installed, and I don't see the need for that because we're going to warn our people not to uninstall while the game is running. So up here where he has his to do to remove this, I remove it here, and then remove this and to check for uninstall, remove the to do and to check for uninstall, and then down here below where he says remove everything below this, delete all that. Okay, so what are we at still? Okay, so now we want to go down further and we have to comment out the add form for the menu because we didn't add a menu. And then we want to comment out the remove for the menu because we didn't add a menu. The only thing I did additionally was I want to warn my users when my mod loads not to disable it while the game is running. So inside the install function at the very end, I add a debug notification that's going to tell them my posters are installed and do not disable while the game is running. So again, you change the name of the script to match the file name. You put in the top menu that you want to add your category to. I'm not doing a menu, so I comment that out. I put in a name for the keyword I'm going to create in the creation kit for this. And then I removed the uninstall stuff that it talked about in here and added the debug note warning about my not disabling while the game is running. So file, save that, and exit. And then the only other thing you have to worry about is in the uninstaller, changing everything up here to match the name, NASA categories uninstaller script, NASA categories installer script, Okay, so you've changed all that. Now it's time to go open things up in the creation kit. So you go into the creation kit, file, data. You want to open up your mod, and this will take a moment or two. So inside of here, what we're going to have to do now is configure the quest that we put in and create that keyword for our posters, and then update the constructible object, or whatever you need to update. In my case, it's a constructible object, to use that new keyword. So this way all my posters will go into the new category that will be created under the wall decorations menu inside the workshop. Yes, it takes a while for the creation kit to load the files. Smoke them if you got them. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to make our new keyword that we were talking about. So you find the keyword list and put in poster. And there it is, workshop recipe decor wall decorations posters. So I duplicate that, I open it, I want to change the name because I put sci-fi in front. Sci-fi there, and put sci-fi, I'm sorry, NASA. Losing my mind. We're working with NASA posters. So many posters, so little time. Okay, NASA workshop recipe filter 03 NASA posters. Okay. Okay, no, I don't want to create a new form, and yes. So there's my NASA workshop recipe filter, etc., etc. Okay. Now, additionally, I'm going to all and look for NASA. That brings up all my parts. And now, I mentioned the one before, somehow I got a second copy of this form in here, the installer, so I'm just going to delete that one. And I want to edit this one. Now the main thing in here you want to change is to get rid of the custom categories installer script and add yours. But you can't add yours till it's compiled. So to compile your scripts, you go into Gameplay, Compile Papyrus Scripts, and that's going to bring up a list of all the scripts you can find out here under your data folder. And then I'm going to look for the NASA ones. And there they are. So you select both of them, click on compile. If they compile okay, the window closes. If there's a compile error, then the window stays open. At least that's what I've seen. So now for a script name, you want to go add your installer script. So I'll look for NASA. And there it is, NASA categories installer script. So add that and it pops up here. I have to set some values in it. So that when we edit the script before, we stuck in documentation strings to remind us of what values to put in here. So for the formless constant, we want the wall decorations. So we're going to go to here, workshop menu, 01 decor 02 wall decorations. And that's the value. And then we update the custom, and now we're going to look for our NASA workshop recipe filter. There it is. National Workshop Recipe Filter, that's the keyword we added. Okay, so we've updated the script, set its properties and our quest, so we're good there. Then we want to go into our constructible object, at least I do. And inside of there, I want to not have my posters inside the default posters menu, but now have it go into my menu. So I delete that one, and then I add my NASA Workshop Recipe Filter Decor Wall 02 NASA posters. Okay, so again, inside of your mod, you create a keyword that matches up for what you're going to use in the script. You update your categories installer script for that keyword, for where to create your custom category, and then use that custom category in your constructible object, and then you should be good to go. So I'll exit out of the okay, I'm going to launch Fallout 4. Now, you'll see that when the game loads, I already have some of my other poster mods modified along these lines, so that each of them is going to give a message about it's loaded and not to disable it while the game is running. So we should now see it for the NASA posters as well. Hopefully just take a minute or two for the game to load. Yes, I know. I need a new machine. Okay, so there it is. NASA posters installed. Do not disable while the game is running. And then we see that for my other mods as well. Horror posters, sci-fi posters, cafe posters. And now when I go into workshop decorations, wall decorations, there they are. NASA posters, cafe posters, sci-fi posters, horror posters. So as long as your users pay attention and don't disable while the mod is running, you should be good to go. So I hope this helps you out, and good luck with adding your categories.